Good day and greetings from the Great White North. My name is Prickly Poon. Welcome to day 240 of a year of change. We are 2/3 of the way through, almost 2/3, just about 2/3 of the way through our first year. So, yay, almost sort of a kind of a milestone. Almost sort of kind of a milestone, maybe possibly if you think of it that way. 250 days is coming up, which is sort of our, really every 50 days or every 100 days really is sort of our milestone. I'm very close. I'm like 7 pounds off from 250. It would be nice to go 250 pounds in 250 days, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'd have to really sort of go overboard, and I don't want to do that. I want to stay on target the way I've been doing. It's a very loud truck outside, and it's gone. So I want to sort of stay on target. In the spirit of sharing. What was I going to try to say? In the, I guess, general spirit of being honest and stuff. Today's topic is something that sort of related to yesterday. Every 2 weeks, I go over to a friend's house. We have a D&D session, and usually it's my day where I still watch what I eat. I still track everything, but they usually have like some sort of snack thing there, and I'll have some snacks there, and it's usually nothing too major. Last time that we were there, between 6 people, we got through half a bag of chips. So it's not that bad. And it's usually the sort of the one day every couple of weeks where I think I can have a little bit of junk food. It'll be okay. And I normally don't track it because it's, I probably should, but it's like 100 or 200 calories worth. And usually by the end of the day, I'm still under. Everything is fine. And it's kind of, I guess you would say, like a cheat day, just near the end of the day. But yesterday, when I went over, I did go a little bit overboard. And I really shouldn't have. I had 3 donuts and a couple of handfuls of chips. So, it's weird because thinking about how I could polish off. Bleh. I could polish off a dozen donuts and 2 or 3 bags of chips by myself, like big bags, in a single sitting. So it isn't that bad. It's still bad. I shouldn't have done it, obviously. I'm trying to lose weight, and donuts are not the right thing to be doing. But it's over a period of about 5 or 6 hours. So it could have been much, much worse. But again, it's one of those things that that's my day where I can go and not have to worry. So I decided to track them anyway, because I hadn't had really time to eat throughout the day. So by the time I got there, it only had about 600 calories. And I thought, I'm going to track this because I've had a little bit more. So I started adding all the numbers up after everything was done around 1 in the morning. And I was still under. So I was very surprised. Assuming that I've calculated everything correctly. I probably did end up going over, but all I could do was take an estimate. As like some of the stuff wasn't scanning, so I'm adding stuff in there, just regular things. But the main thing that I want to talk about today is, because I have seen this quite a bit on MyFitnessPal, and I've seen it in comments, and I've seen it in just other videos and stuff like that, where people do schedule a cheat day. This isn't really anything that I've done where I have an entire day where I say, okay, I'm just going to eat whatever I want. Sorry. I think it's mainly because I know that I can't afford to. I can't really take a day every week or, once a month probably wouldn't be as bad, that I can just eat whatever I want. Because part of my problem, or the majority of my problem, is just overeating. That's my eating habit. It's not the junk food. It's not that I say, oh, this is my cheat day so I can have a piece of cake. A cheat day for me would end up being, eating an entire pizza for breakfast and then having 4 or 5 or 6 sausages and then having a big rack of ribs at night, and then at midnight, then getting up and making 3 or 4 burritos. Like, that would be a cheat day. I would eat, a week's worth of calories in there. And I don't want to do that. But there are some people that have sort of scheduled these aside. And I know we sort of talked about this before, that even if you're scheduling one a month, or even one a week, even if you decide that you were having 1 day a week where you could eat whatever you want, that's still only 52 days out of the year. So you have another 313 days where you're eating healthy, you're exercising, everything, it's still better than what we were doing before. Now, I'm not planning, obviously, on having a cheat day once a week or even once a month. The Sundays are sort of a cheat day, I guess, for me, because it's just in the evening, usually around 7 o'clock when we go over there. At that point, then I can sit back and enjoy myself, and I can have a couple of snacks if there's something there, and, or if I bring something there. I'm not just taking from people. Don't worry. I buy my own shit and I share with everybody else. So if I'm going there and I don't want to sit and go, I really want one, but I'm not going to have it. It's the time that I think, it's a 5 or 6 hour stretch of time. I'm going to enjoy myself, and I'm not going to overindulge because I don't need to anymore. I'll have my regular drink, and then I'll have, last night was the most I've gone over. But 3 donuts, which is pretty bad, but it's over 6 hours. And then we shared a bag of chips between 3 people, like a big bag of chips. So, and I left the rest there. So that's the other thing too, is that when I do bring stuff there, I'll leave it there. Oh, and I had a cookie as well. So shared hobnobs. Anyway, so obviously not a very good day near the end of it. So now that I think about it, I probably did go over, because I don't think I tracked the cookie properly. But assuming that I did go over, for the sake of argument, it's still, I don't see them as cheat days. I don't really set them aside to say, well, I'm going to go over today. I know I am. I still, during the day, I still eat properly. I don't exercise because it's a weekend. I know I keep saying, I really should do this on the weekend, but I don't have the gumption to get going. I did this morning. I'm back every 8 minutes starting this morning as well. Anyway, sorry, different topic. But there are some people that have set these days aside that this is their cheat day. And if you have a cheat day set up that way, then go to it. It's still better than what we were doing before. And if you're eating healthy 6 days out of 7, then as long as you're not saying, well, I'm going to go in and destroy, 6 days of work by eating 6 times my daily allotment of calories at the end of the week, then you're still ahead of the game. For me, it's because I still have so much I need to lose. Like if you need to lose 20 pounds or something, then yes, you're going to probably have a cheat day once in a while. But I have so much to lose that I really don't want to set aside a specific day and then start looking forward to that day as an eating day. I look forward to Sundays because we all get together. It's fun, and it's not because I know I can have whatever I want. The stuff that I bought for yesterday, I bought a week ago, and I haven't touched it all week because it's not sort of in the forefront. It's just that I know that while I'm there, if I get a bit peckish, I can have something and I don't have to worry and say, I brought celery. So, but yeah, I guess I don't know what I'm trying to say. Yeah. All right, we're done. Bye. No, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess it's that, for me anyway, the cheat day thing doesn't work. Setting aside a specific day every week or, every 2 weeks or every month or whatever it is, where I can say, okay, on the last day of every month, I can eat whatever I want. I don't care. I'm going to just have burritos and cookies and cakes and ribs and pizza and what was the other thing? Nachos. That was the other thing. Because where my problem is overeating, it's not going to take much to get me back into that groove. And I don't think it's sort of a thing like, oh, well, if I have one day where I overeat, then I'm just going to fall right back into it. Because I really don't think that my stomach capacity is the same way that it was a few months ago. So I don't think I'd be able to eat as much as I normally would. But I've gotten away from that habit. Every now and then it'll happen because I misjudge things and I'm like, I ate too much. But in general, I don't want to support that. I don't want to go into a place knowing, okay, well, I'm going to eat whatever I want. Because with the majority of the stuff that I eat now, it's very healthy all the way around. I'm still working on the sodium and the sugar and carbs and fat and all the other good stuff that goes along with it. But to sort of set aside a day to essentially say, this is a day that once a month I get to go back to my old habits is not helpful for what I need. Some people can do it. I certainly can't. I know that I can't. Because it would be like an alcoholic saying, well, I get to have as much as I want to drink one day a month. You can't do it. It's not because, again, for me, it's not the food type. That was the problem. It was the amount. I could still, and I have actually, a couple weeks ago, ate a huge, huge salad to the point I was almost bursting. It was very, very good, though. So it still happens once in a while. But I'd much rather it happen with salad instead of me saying, well, I'm going to go back and have, nachos again. And I used to make nachos, and I told you about this before. When I used to make nachos, I could have 3 or 4 plates, and they're the big 500-gram blocks of cheese, which is essentially a pound of cheese. And I would put half a pound of cheese on each plate. Like, it was just mounded up with cheese and sour cream and all the other stuff. And you could easily go through 2 plates, usually 3, and sometimes 4. Sometimes to a point where you're just sitting there and you're like, this is really good. If I swallow this, I'm going to throw up. So I've had to just go, yeah, I'm not going to finish that. Like, I don't want to encourage that. And I know it's one of those things that you're just sort of like, well, you probably won't. If you set aside one day a month where you're just like, no, I can have what I want. It's not going to bother me. In reality, I know that it's probably not going to turn into that. But the thought of it makes me very uncomfortable. I don't want to go back to that. And I'm eating healthy, and obviously not to a point where I'm saying, well, I can only have 500 calories a day. Yesterday was an extreme example. I was just busy, and by the time I went over there at 6:30, 7 o'clock, I went through all my stuff. I still have, 1,100 calories left for the day. But in general, I think that if you have a cheat day where you're setting up once a month or even once a week, it's not great. Obviously, it's not, it's not perfect, but it's still way better than what we were like before. I mean, obviously, if you've gone this far without it, I wouldn't recommend starting now and saying, oh, well, good, I can have a cheat day once a week now, because it's just going to slow everything down, and, you do run that risk of sort of falling into those bad habits again. But if you've had a cheat day where you say, you know what, I've had a cheat day once a week, then every Friday I can eat what I want. Don't go overboard, but I can say I'm just going to have 5 dinner rolls. Then maybe start extending that out a bit and saying, well, I can have once every couple of weeks. If you can't, then you can't. It's not anything that you have to say, well, no, you can never ever have this again. Part of the reason why we're doing this and not cutting out any foods is because stuff like that just causes so many problems that when you're doing that too often, then, the cravings get too strong and there's this huge backlash and you fall back into the old habits and you just say, I don't care, I just need something, and then we end up binging. So, I suppose in a way it's a good way to control the binges, and that's what I see a lot when people are commenting on it and saying, I have a scheduled cheat day where I can pretty much eat what I want. The thing is that I do notice as well is that because throughout the course of a week or every 2 weeks or every month or whatever it is that you have for your, regular schedule, because you're eating so healthy and you're feeling better and you're exercising and everything else, when it comes to your cheat day, I'm not seeing a lot of people that are going way, way over. They don't automatically just go right back to their old habits and say, eat 6,000 calories in a day. On an extreme day, then maybe they will. If they're having a big party with friends and stuff, and there's like cake and cookies and all the other stuff, and it's their cheat day, then yeah. But you're okay. That doesn't happen very often. So, but I think it's because we are sort of getting into a better habit overall, that our cheat days now aren't what our cheat days would have been 8 months ago. Our cheat days now are things like, prime example is like I had 3 donuts, which is still a lot. They're a regular sized donut. They weren't like great big ones, but they're a regular sized donut. 3 donuts over a course of 6 hours, compared to eating 12 donuts in a matter of half an hour on a cheat day I would have had when I was, 8 months ago. When I was 8 months ago. That's a thing now. So, there is a difference there, and I don't think there are too many people that go so far overboard that they just sort of dive right back into their old eating habits that way. And we've made so much progress that even when we start in, it's a little easier to catch ourselves and to stop those binges and just say, I don't want to undo everything I've done for this entire week. So, we tend to curb ourselves that way. So although it's good to not cut anything out and to make sure that everything's included and just, watching what we eat in general, which is really, this isn't anything new. This is stuff that we've known for half a century. Just eat properly, I just spit all over myself. Eat properly, get plenty of exercise, and every once in a while, you can have a treat like that. You can have your cheat day. Whether it's once a week or once a month, whatever you've decided has worked well for you. If you're still making progress, if you can look back 8 months ago when we first started and compare things to how you are now, even if you've been having a cheat day every week, if you've still lost in the long run, then whatever you're doing is working. So keep at it. It's going to take a little bit longer than it would if you had no cheat days, but it would take, for the same reason why what we're doing is taking a lot longer than people that are hitting the gym 4 or 5 hours a day, people that are cutting their calories down to under 1,000 calories. We have our own pace that we're going, but it's working and it's sustainable, and that's the most important thing, is that we'll be able to keep doing this for the rest of our lives. And it's not anything that you're just like, oh, I've been craving this for 6 months. If you're craving it for 6 months, then you should know by now, go have one. Whatever it is that you're craving, go do it. But anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about, sort of. A really rough day yesterday. Although the weird thing is, I weighed myself today. I know I shouldn't be, but I'm curious because I'm thinking, is that like piled on already? So did my treadmill and weighed myself, and I'm actually lower than I was yesterday. So yay, it's okay. So I figure as long as I keep things active throughout the day, then hopefully the donuts won't have time to turn into more fat. And if they do, I will work them off. So that's what we're here for, just to keep going. But for right now, I'm going to leave this video here, so thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please poke the like button for me. And in the meantime, keep yourself warm and fuzzy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.